Tony, no other team has shut out Georgia this season. How pleased are you with your team's performance today?
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but it's no surprise. I mean, that was a physical, impressive group in a lot of different ways, and I think probably an underrated part about that position player group is some of the plays that they made defensively. So fortunate to win the series, and you'll take it any way you can get it. But yeah, to shut them out is difficult to do. I think what it was going to take was a play like Dylan Dreiling relaying to Curley, and then Cal doing his thing at the plate. You kind of need stuff like that, and Kirby and Xander to pitch with so much courage. So you kind of need some extra things going on probably to just hold the offense down regardless of whether it's a zero or not.
How big of an impact was that defense? You mentioned right there the relay, but also Inslee's diving catch.
Yeah, I mean, Inslee's was insane. I mean, he went a long, long way to run, and then he dove. I'd like to know how many yards he made from when he leapt and made the catch. It was incredible. He's always acting like a goofball anytime he makes a good catch in BP. And that one, he was serious as could be after he caught it. But either way, he did catch it, and it's a momentum swing. I think after both of those, we came in and scored. One inning we scored 2 runs, the other one we scored 1. It matters. And I know today was a big basketball day. A lot of times basketball coaches will talk about your best offense is defense. And that makes much more sense in a transition game like that. But I think even though it's a slower transition, I think it matters. And, our guys had some savvy on defense today.
What do you think allowed Xander to have so much success against a great lineup like today?
I think step one is seeing his buddy, Kirby, do what he did. And maybe he and Kirby exchanged some words or thoughts. I don't know, but I think just seeing your guy doing that, first of all, how are you not inspired a little bit by what Kirby did? And then Xander is a kid who's an answer unto himself, just about who he is and how he goes about things. And he's one of many guys. We touched on Trey Lipscomb and Kirby and some other guys. Just other kids need to take example from him and see that there's real peace of mind and there's a real victory in just being a good teammate and being loyal to your guys and finding out how good you can get and accepting the fact that there's some adversity in this game or just in life in general. And again, I just think there's a lot of peace of mind when you take that approach. And then you can also, in Trey's case, you can get all kinds of goodies. But if you keep doing that, you can kind of get, the gold star if you want, that adds icing on the cake. But it's kind of like our basketball coach. Regardless of the result, Xander's a champion or a superstar today. But nice little icing on the cake that he was able to do what he did today.
How encouraging is it to know that Snead can go 26 pitches last night, come back less than 24 hours and do what he did today?
Yeah, I mean, he's a different guy. He's super relaxed away from the field when he's not in uniform, but in uniform, he's what really a reliever is epitomized. It's not like he can't start for us and maybe will at some point. But you want a guy that wants the ball, and a guy who's taking care of his body, so he's resilient. He's incredibly competitive when he plays catch, so I think it allows him to throw back-to-back days where his stuff doesn't fall off very much. But, I think it was the first time we'd done that this year where we used a guy back-to-back, and usually Kirby's a guy we might use 3 days in a row. So just a big benefit to have him on our team in general. And it's nice when you got to, next.
What'd you learn from your team this series?
Resilient. I think toughness is there. I think team chemistry is there. I think there's some good togetherness. But when Friday goes on, it either expands just a little bit or you can come closer together. And I don't think our guys did anything drastic. I think they just stuck with what the approach they have is. And sometimes I sound really stupid because I say to be consistent, you got to be consistent. But I think if you let that scoreboard or the stat sheet get you waving in the wind a little bit one way or the other, that's trouble. And I don't think they were deterred. They weren't happy with Friday, and it was a little embarrassing, but I don't think anyone was deterred. And so the resiliency factor that was there was huge. And I think that was displayed at the plate today because their starter was so dang good, and it wasn't really a good offensive day in anything we really put together other than Bargo, but his was with 2 strikes and into the wind. So anything our guys did offensively was with some grit today.
Took a long time last year for you guys to play a rubber match. Now you have 3 under your belt in SEC play so far. How big is that to have these types of games so early?
It's massive. It's massive. And I think, it adds to the experience the next time you go around. But also, it adds to just your experience of why you sign up, to play in the SEC, because it's going to be these back and forth battles. And When you get punched, you get beaten up because they're so good. And when you are able to win, it feels really good because you know you beat arguably the best. So, I think today the guys, you could tell there was some, gratitude's a word everybody throws around now when everybody's being kumbaya. But I think appreciation or just gratitude for the opportunity today. I mean, the weather's turned. Even though we had that hoops game going on, we had a great crowd because the stadium's expanded. We got more seats. And why would you want it any other way? To play a team that maybe were 20 runs better than, it'd be fun, but it wouldn't be a true test. So I think, I know what label was thrown on the group a couple years ago, but I've been watching games. Everybody's doing all kinds of stuff. I don't know if they were back then, but I think if you were going to label our team, which it doesn't matter what other people think, I think, appreciation for the fact they're being tested, and they're going to be tested a lot more.
What was the message to the guys with the series on the line today?
I think last night we talked a little bit about just that. You got a great opportunity, to do it at home, just like we did last weekend, and enjoy it a little bit. But you got to compete, and then we kind of talked about competition a little bit. But maybe I was answering in a long way the way I did because I want to make myself look smart. Other people said it too, just like, hey, this would be a good opportunity. And Friday was crazy, and yesterday was crazy, but Sunday is the only day that matters once the sun comes up today, and it kind of came up a little bit on Easter Sunday. So they did a good job executing whatever approach. We're outnumbered, so whatever they had going on, it was dictated by the leaders, and they did a good job with it.
You mentioned Bargo. Do you think he's earned himself a lot more opportunities going forward?
Yeah, and early in the year, he was a guy, we were down to like 4 guys that had played in every game, and he was the only one, even though he hadn't started every one. And then, you get a couple nicks and knacks, not just for him, but for other guys. So, when he's healthy, he's undoubtedly one of our top 9 hitters. I can tell you that for sure. Want to keep everybody involved, want to keep everybody prepped, want to keep everybody confident. So that's a part of it. And then when guys are healthy, we'll go with whatever we think is the best thing for us that particular day. But he needs to be ready at all times, whether it's the start of the day, middle of the day, or end of the day, because, he's a really good player and he's a hell of a teammate. I mean, they're all different with personalities, but I've said it to you guys before. That guy is low maintenance, which is, I think I can say it's rare these days,
You mentioned Trey Lipscomb yesterday. He hit his first career MLB home run today. How cool is it to see that from a guy from where he started at Tennessee to where he is now? So.
It's awesome. And now he failed. He was on the plane. He failed. The guys are all jazzed up, and same thing. Things have been said, get in trouble when we get delayed there with an interview, and all the guys are waiting and clapping, for our huddle. And I had my phone on me, and the plan was to FaceTime Trey so he could talk to the guys, and that would be, whatever the final words were for the day. But he failed to answer, so he's not that good. Not even he's that good. But no, he epitomizes what I was talking about before, because you're talking about it took him. He wasn't really recruited a lot, and then there was a redshirt year, and then there's other good players in front of him, and then during some of his reps, maybe he deserved more of them, but also some of them he could have done better, and things. Just there's a building up process, and I think part of that reason is what I was talking about with Xander. Like, you're not going to meet a better teammate and a guy who more is just head down and is going to continue to get better regardless of what carrots or, like I said, gold stars or what stat sheet you guys have. I mean, there's a lot of value into being the guy that's on the poster or the guy that gets to do the post-game interview and all that. But that was never his focus, and I don't think it ever will be, even in his big league career, which is going to last a long time. And it's nice he had a homer today, but our video coordinator is the smartest guy we got in our building, and he said it. As soon as they called him up, everybody on the Nationals got better, including anybody. The custodians, everybody got better because that guy's around.
You mentioned last night that you meet with the trainers today about AJ. Do you have any update there?
Yeah, I failed. I was going to say that as soon as I walked in. Epic fail. So we'll try and get you a Monday morning report on him and Benke as well. And then obviously KT was going to be a guy that I figured we'd have to touch on tomorrow morning with you all too. But he kind of gritted it out. I know some fans are like, that guy's the laziest base runner in the world, but we kind of made the deal with him to put him in the lineup and kind of go easy on the bases for health's sake.